Okay, think about this for a second. What if your emails weren't just, well, messages? What if they were actually living, breathing documents? Today, we're going to dive into some incredible tech from a company called Automail that's making this a reality. And it's turning the good old email into a dynamic tool that can literally update itself long after you hit send.
So let me paint you a picture, one that probably gives every marketer out there a little bit of anxiety. You've just launched a huge promotion. The email goes out to thousands of people, and then an hour later, the price changes for a flash sale. Or worse, the hot new product sells out. All of a sudden, your email is totally out of date, sending customers to a frustrating dead end. But what if that email could actually adapt? What if it knew what happened and updated itself the very moment it was opened? That's the huge leap we're talking about today. And to really get why this is such a game changer, we first have to talk about the fundamental problem with pretty much every email we use today. A traditional email is basically just a snapshot. The second you press that send button, its content is frozen in time, completely locked, no matter what changes in the real world. Yeah, and this slide just hits it home perfectly, right? On the left, you've got the old school static email. A customer opens it, sees a price, clicks, and the item is sold out. That's super frustrating for them, a total dead end for you. But on the right, the live email has already changed itself to show the new, lower price. Now, that's not just a better customer experience, that's a sale you would have otherwise lost.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how on earth does this even work? Well, the whole thing starts with a way smarter automation engine. And I'm not talking about your basic drip campaign here. We're talking about a seriously smart engine that plugs directly into the live data from your e-commerce store. Things like your product inventory and your real-time pricing.
And this leads us to what Automail calls a smart sequence. Now, the key thing to get here is that we're not just talking about a simple pre-scheduled list of emails that go out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. No, this is a super advanced workflow that connects right into platforms like Shopify or WooCommerce and triggers messages based on what your customers are actually doing on your site, like, say, adding an item to their cart and then just leaving. And the best part? You absolutely do not need to be some coding genius to pull this off. Setting up one of these smart sequences is just a simple 6-step wizard. Seriously, you connect your store, you pick what triggers the email, like abandoning a cart, you build your message, set a schedule, and boom, you're live. It's that easy. And it goes way beyond just the basics. You get these incredibly powerful tools built right in. You can A/B test everything to see what works best. You can limit how many emails you send so you don't overwhelm people. And get this, you can have all that performance data, like opens and clicks, piped right back into a Google Sheet automatically. It's like a perfect closed-loop system. But, okay, that automation engine? That's really only half the story. The real magic, the thing that makes this feel like sci-fi, happens inside the email itself. This is how the content actually becomes alive. It's all thanks to something called smart blocks. Now, the best way to think about a smart block is to imagine it's not a piece of text or a static image, but more like a live window inside your email. So when someone opens the message, the smart block instantly calls out to your store, grabs the latest information, like the current price or if it's in stock, and displays it as a brand new image. And make sure that what they see is always 100% live. All right, let's walk through a super simple story so you can see exactly how this plays out. Imagine you run an online store and you send out a big marketing email showcasing one of your most popular products. Okay, so a few hours go by and your marketing team decides to launch a surprise flash sale. The price for that product on your website suddenly drops. Now, with any other email system, you'd be in trouble. Every single one of those emails you sent is now wrong. It's actually working against your big sale. But here it is. This is the moment. When your customer finally opens that email, it doesn't matter if it's hours or even days later, that smart block wakes up, fetches the live data from your store, and instantly displays the new lower sale price. The email literally updated itself. It's incredible. So you might be thinking, doesn't that slow things down? And the answer is no, not at all. It's lightning fast because it's not trying to load a whole web page inside the email. In less than 1/10 of a second, the system generates a super lightweight image file with the new info. It's instant, it's seamless, and it's totally secure, so the data is always accurate. So look, this tech is obviously super cool, but let's be real. What does it actually do for the bottom line? Let's switch gears from the how to the why. Because, the proof is always in the numbers. Just take a look at this. By using these live email sequences, one e-commerce brand recovered 42% of its abandoned shopping carts.
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. Nearly half of the people who were gone, who had left the site, they came back and bought something, all because of a smarter, automated follow-up. And believe it or not, it gets even better. For that same brand, this whole approach led to a 69% lift in repeat purchases. So because the emails were always relevant, always up to date, they weren't just saving lost sales, they were actually building real long-term customer loyalty. And hey, don't think for a second this is just an e-commerce trick. A B2B software company used these exact same automated sequences for things like welcoming new users and announcing features. And the results? They slashed their customer churn by 36% just by keeping their users better engaged and informed. And for that same software company, this wasn't just about keeping customers. It was about getting new ones. It led to a 45% boost in converting people from a free trial into a paying customer. I mean, these aren't small numbers. This is the kind of stuff that can totally change the trajectory of a business. So what's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean? Well, this kind of technology really is like a new superpower for anybody who uses email. It completely transforms it from just a way to send messages into an intelligent, automated growth engine that's plugged right into your business. And I absolutely love this analogy. It just sums it up perfectly. A normal, static email is like a printed photograph. It's a memory of a moment that's already passed. But a live email? That's like a live video feed. It's an experience that's happening for you right now. One's a snapshot. The other is a living connection to the present. You know, what we're really witnessing here is the evolution of the inbox itself. It's not just a passive mailbox anymore. It's becoming this live, intelligent channel that can react and adapt in the moment, connecting you and your customers directly to your business in real time. Which brings us to one last, pretty intense question to chew on. In a world where your business data is changing every single second, if your email can't keep up with that reality, is it already a thing of the past?